Alright, so a couple of days ago I made a video talking about the Summer Games Fest that's coming up in June, and the possibility of seeing some Resident Evil stuff at that event, considering that Capcom are indeed a studio that is showing stuff at the opening night stream. We know the fact that, we could see separate ways there, we could see even more DLC for 4, and it was a pretty good video. And during the time between me making it and scheduling it to upload, PlayStation actually announced their big showcase, and people have been waiting for that for a long time. It's on Wednesday, which at the time this video goes up is going to be tomorrow. So I do kind of want to talk about what we could see there, because there is potential to see definitely something there, and I'll go over what that is later in the video. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first and foremost, the big one, the one that kind of is very unlikely to happen, but people still talk about, is Resident Evil 9. I strongly believe that we're not going to see anything about Resident Evil 9 for a while still. I would say maybe the end of this year, but even then, possibly the beginning of next year. If we do see some kind of announcement or a trailer or whatever, whether it's at the PlayStation event or at the Summer Games Fest, I'll be very surprised, but also very excited. But I just don't think it's going to happen yet. Separate Ways is probably going to be the first DLC, or the only DLC, for Resident Evil 4 we get. And it's in the game files, it's a thing, it exists, it's definitely coming, we just don't know when. And again, it could be shown at the PlayStation Showcase. They announced Resident Evil 4 on a PlayStation Showcase, so it would kind of fit if they announced the DLC too. I think that one does make a bit more sense, and it would be cool to see Separate Ways. I'd imagine it'll be out this year, probably. Whether we see any more DLC, if they plan on making any more DLC for the game, I'm not sure, but on top of Separate Ways, we obviously have Ada and Wesker as playable characters in Mercenaries, which is also in the game, and we know is coming, so I'd imagine those two things will probably come out at the same time. So with that, it's just a matter of time, whether we see it this week or we see it at the Summer Games Fest opening night stream. Who knows, but I'd imagine we get an announcement at some point within the next couple months at least. Now, the one that I think is more likely than any to happen at the PlayStation Showcase is the Resident Evil 4 PSVR 2 content that was announced, that was being made. Literally when Resident Evil 4 was announced, at the end of the trailer, it says that PSVR 2 content is also in development. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a VR version of the main game, like they did with Village, and maybe the Mercenaries mode as well. I think that would be really good, and it would make sense, It said that PSVR 2 content is in development. It's a PlayStation exclusive kind of hardware, so it would make sense that if they're going to show anything for Resident Evil 4, it will be the PSVR 2 version of the game. I really do want to get a VR 2. It is very expensive, so I probably won't get on for a while, and I do kind of want to wait until there's more games to play on it. But Resident Evil 4 being on there and Resident Evil Village being on there is a good kind of push to maybe get one in the future. And to those people who have one already, you'll get to enjoy the remake in VR, which is pretty cool. And off of the back of the success of the Oculus Quest version of the original game in VR, I'd imagine this one will be pretty good too. So, as always, a positive. But that pretty much wraps it up. I don't think there's going to be any other announcements other than that stuff. I would be pleasantly surprised if there's anything completely new. Keep in mind though, Capcom might show things at the PlayStation Showcase, but it isn't just Resident Evil that they're making. XO Primal comes out in July, I think, or the end of June. Street Fighter 6 is out at the beginning of June, and there's other games I'm sure they want to announce. Maybe some new stuff, maybe some more information about Pragmata, which was announced a long time ago, and we haven't heard anything about that since. So who knows? But if Resident Evil is there, I'd imagine probably the VR version of 4, maybe Separate Ways. Unlikely to be a new game announcement, but we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What are you hoping to see at the PlayStation Showcase or at the Summer Games Fest in terms of Resident Evil stuff? And yeah, thank you all for watching. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you're new for more Resident Evil content. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.